We've come trampolining for Nana's birthday, and Cameron's turned into a 3-year-old.
And been at a trampolining park today. That's from your brother Rufus and your mum and dad.
Morning, everyone. It's dreary, it's miserable. Winter probably has come back and probably won't leave. Just taking dogs for a run around. We're doing a lot of wood today, so I'll keep it short and sweet because it might get boring. And also we're going to pick up the sausages. We will change what we call them now because it will be a little bit sadistic. We're going to pick up the sausages with no names. It's raining on my phone. The boiler's back on. Wood is going in. So yeah, that's kind of the end of summer for us, to be fair. So if you didn't know, we are on like log powered biomass. So a bit like, I'm gonna have to lean over here and I'm not tall enough. It's my wreath for Harvest Festival coming on. I went picking some willow yesterday and some particularly sweet oak branches with acorns on. I did it last year as well, like a wreath for the church. For our neighbour Linda, who's very religious. She loves the church. She's the church warden, you know. So I can't add much in the way of credibility or shit on my axe. Anything else, but I can add creativity. So the boiler room has been used as a storage facility for the entire of summer. Anything that we didn't want to look at, any bags of rubbish that we're to get rid of, anything like that has been thrown in the boiler room because we barely opened the door, and now it's come to a point where we're going to need to clear it out. Does anyone else do things like that and then go, oh, why did I do that? Do you know what I mean? So I need to find some plastic, which shouldn't be too hard, and that needs to go in the back of the Ranger pickup. So we'll be going and getting the pigs. Now, when butchering animals, bear in mind the weight of what you're taking and going and picking up. Don't think that you're picking up, a couple of sausages. The weight of the meat that will come back will be obscene. So I need to find some plastic to go in the back of the Ranger pickup. Oh my God, we did have some biscuit. Oh, Roy's gonna go crazy. I went and bought some more. Don't tell him. I went and bought another roll. I think he'd get you. Honestly, I'm not making that up. I think he would get you. I don't think you should take him on. Right, we'll just stay away from him. Don't want to knock her confidence. I've just thought by laying that out with no weight on it, that would be a really stupid thing to do. So I've just thrown it in the back. I miss the cows crossing the bridge. Oh no, they're not. They're just kind of stood loitering. It's exactly what cows do best, really. Loiter where they shouldn't be. Me and Roy are just talking. We're literally pulling into the village where the abattoir is. It's a really small family-run kind of thing. And we just said once every kind of town, village would have one. We knew of loads. Another one's just been closed down near us. And I was speaking to a lass called Heidi from a mineral firm the other day, and she was telling me that in Scotland they literally don't have one. So say for instance, if you have a cow that breaks its leg and you think, oh, I'll hang it and butcher it, they can't do it because they can't get to an abattoir within the time limit that they have to keep the dead animal in the wagon, if you understand what I mean. It's just all legislation. It just doesn't work. PV Dobsons, saw them at Eccleston Show. They did Westmoreland Show the other day. We saw them at, not Eccleston Show, or maybe we did see them at Eccleston Show, but I didn't notice. The other day when we were at Westmoreland Show, we were commenting on how bloody cheap the Manitous were. Like, ridiculous. A big Manitou, a big one, and it was cheaper than what we'd seen Mini Merlot's priced at. So that tells you the difference. It's extreme. We're just leaving at the abattoir now. You can see here, transshipping some milk here. Just have a bit of a distribution kind of hub going on. Not video people, it's a bit rude, isn't it? From the outside, for all intents and purposes, like you can see over there, it looks just like a farm. Just like a farm. So if any animals arrive, I can't imagine it be a stressful environment, because it literally would just be like arriving at a farm. With the transshipping thing of the milk that I just slightly showed you there, a lot of the farms around here, you'll only be able to get 8-wheelers in. So what they'll do is they'll send the 8-wheeler in, they'll pick up the milk because they've got narrow driveways or whatever, and then they'll stick it over into a bigger tanker. The bigger tanker will come from here, jump on the motorway because it's quite close, and take it down to somewhere else. It will actually happen with our milk when we get up and running and going. So we will be, for all intents and purposes, sharing a tanker with some neighbours of ours who have a milk contract with the same buyer, and yeah, we will be sharing a tanker, and that will then go over the border into like southwest Scotland, and they will put it onto a bigger tanker, and that will then go up to Stirling, to Graham's. Not looking at you, I have to watch the road when I'm like, interesting in the fridges then. I didn't show you because you don't want to ask, do you? Even though it is very interesting. There's a load of cows hung up, a load of pigs, loads of older sheep and loads of lambs. So the older sheep are actually cut in halves like our pigs are, and Roy says it's to do, they take the spines and they do like a scrapey test, which I honestly don't know anything about that, but Roy does. And the lambs are left whole, so there must be an age on them, is there? I wonder what age you turn into a yow. 1? Is that it? One? Imagine being classed as old when you're 1. Wow. And we thought twin wool was expensive. Taking Joe and Ollie for a sandwich. I didn't stop it. I'm going to take that out. Truck stop's giving me life right now. Yum. It's the closest I'll ever get to a date in my life again. It took me to the truck stop. Boys, let's go home. But is it Hortons or is it Houghton's? Well, they're them, because they are the only brand that I see now. Like literally every time you see a livestock wagon, it's turned out to be one of them in the last few days. Meow. Away from that chainsaw. It is not for you. Thank you. Not for cows. A mini chainsaw to do some hedging with. Hedge laying. Has anyone watched the cool, shameless plug, has anyone watched the demonstration that Machinery Nation did with chainsaws, baby chainsaws? If you haven't and you're considering buying one, go and watch it, because it literally tests all the mini chainsaws out. It's a proper cool video. It's heavy. So Roy is just feeding the cows. You can see the mess. Wow. I hate to sound like country fowl whilst wearing a bobble hat, studying the field, but it's gone very autumnal overnight. It's like we're kind of in that mid-season, aren't we, where we kind of wake up and put a coat on, and then by the afternoon we're boiling hot and have to take it off again. We don't know where we stand. I hate it. So the girls are meandering on down for the food. They're not desperate for it yet, if I'm perfectly honest. There's still plenty of grass about. As you can see, they are not desperate at all for the first time ever. But yeah. We never had cows that look as well at this time of the year. The calves haven't taken anything out of them because they've all been fed silage all the way through summer. I think you can't really do that as a sustainable way to raise cattle. It couldn't sustain itself. It just isn't worth the money for one. The silage is worth too much money, but obviously we're selling these animals, and as well we had a pit full of dry silage, so two worked together hand in hand, the stars collided, and for once things kind of worked out in our favour. An idea I'm gonna do to raise money for school, BFA, which is like Bolton Friends Association, which is like what raises money for school. We're going to do an autumnal harvest wreath making, forage your own workshop for absolute legends that don't want to pay £50 to sit in a village hall. That's what we're going to do. So my idea we go foraging, you know, us ladies and gentlemen that like to wreath make, go foraging around the fields. Everything will be wonderful, and then we'll go put some tables in that massive shed. No limit on numbers. I can't see it going wrong. Here's the rainbow. I knew it would be there somewhere. How lovely. I'm just going to go and take Joe and Ollie to the butcher's now, because he is in, and we are going to butchery into sausages and a couple of joints before anyone says anything, because my brother and Big Roy. Why is it always good weather when we go somewhere? So fitting, Joe and Ollie going over Rainbow Bridge with a double rainbow. Right, I'll stop now. I'm sorry. All right.